Hi, everybody. Welcome back. If you are new here, hi, I'm Rhoda. Today, we are reviewing the new Danessa Myricks Lift and Flex and Lift, all of the lifting and all of the flexing new concealer. And when there is a new concealer in town, I will be trying it. I will be reviewing it. I do love the packaging. It's kind of flat and rounded at the edges. It is a little bit unique. It's actually kind of cute. I like it. And you get 9.4 milliliters of product in this little guy. It is kind of tiny. It is kind of tiny. But if you compare it to, say, the Haus Labs has 7 milliliters in the tube, and the Fenty, which is the standout this year for me, has 9 mils. So although it's a small little package, it does pack a lot of product in it. Here are some of the claims of this new concealer. It is a medium to full coverage, skin loving, all over face concealer with a soft matte finish, which I love the sound of that. It comes in 20 flexible shades. It is $30 US and $40.50 Canadian. It has hyaluronic acid, caffeine, vitamin E. So it uses plant-powered ingredients to lift and correct and to smooth and flex. You can use this all over the face to cover blemishes. You can go a couple of shades lighter to brighten and lift, or you can go a couple of shades darker and use it as a contour and bronzer. It is very multi-purpose. It also claims to reduce puffiness and provide hydration for 8 hours. Here's a quick look at the applicator. It's got this little well in there. It's kind of curved and scooped out. So you can use the point to be very targeted where you apply it, or you can just apply in larger areas. And this scoopy area is supposed to take out and hold the perfect amount of product. Okay, let's see what this puppy can do. Right now on my face, I have the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. I use shade 5. My brows are done, but that is all. All right, let's start applying this. I picked up shade 6 in the concealer. I could have picked shade 5. It has a peachy undertone. That I think could have worked, but this one is described as a light medium neutral. So as always, when I try a new concealer, I do not color correct. I would say 99% of the time, color correct my under eyes because it is my biggest problem area. But when I try a new concealer, I want to see how it performs on its own without any help. I want my concealers to have good coverage, but I also don't want them to be too thick. I have a lot of fine lines under my eyes, and so I don't need thick product sitting on them, accentuating them. This is going on very, very easily, very smoothly. It feels like a very, very thin formula and is doing a pretty nice job of covering my darkness. Let's get on this eye as well. I'm using the Mario concealer brush. So this does dry down pretty quickly, but not crazy quick, I would say, but you do have to work fast from what I am seeing, but that's okay. All right, so this eye is much darker than this eye, so I always expect to need a little bit more work on this one, but first layer here, I think it looks very natural. Like I mentioned, it's quite thin, easily spreads across the under eye. I added to my lids as well, but I think I want to go in and add just a little bit more. Had I color corrected, I probably wouldn't need to go in with any more, but we'll add it today. I'm going to get this inner part right here. I think I need a little bit more help. And right along here and on this side as well. And I think I want to add a little bit more to my lids also, just so I can get a more even coverage up there. And while I'm at it, I have a friend who appeared on my nose. Let's see what kind of spot concealing this can do. And let's brighten up Let's brighten up a little bit in this area as well, and a lift. All right, let's get going on that blending. I have to say, it feels so lightweight, very, very lightweight. I'm impressed so far. And as far as application goes, as far as how it looks, as far as how it feels, right now, I am really, really liking this. I can't believe I woke up with this like one giganto zit right on my nose, just hanging out all alone. Hopefully not looking for friends because we don't need any more. But this has done a really nice job of covering that up. I'm not noticing any creasing yet, but it's early days. Okay, I think for not having color corrected, it's done a very, very good job on these eyes. These eyes, you have to work hard for if you're a concealer. I'll tell you that much. It's not an easy task at all. And I find this looks so very, very natural. Like I almost don't have anything on my skin. It's almost just kind of become one with my skin. And that is music to my ears and my eyes. Well, it can't be music to my eyes, whatever, there must be a saying, but whatever it is, it looks good. Okay, I'm going to powder now. I'm only going to powder under this eye and the rest of my face. Normally I would powder anyway, but because I'm testing this out for the first time, I'm not going to powder under this eye because I want to see if it actually even needs to be, even though I will anyway. Just want to let you know if it's self-setting or not. Using the Givenchy Prism Libre in shade 2, Satin Blanc, lightly powder under here. I will powder my lids as well. I'm using a smaller brush to powder under my eye. This is a Sephora 79. And then I'll grab a fluffier brush to powder the rest of my face. Hourglass dual-ended brush. I'm going to avoid this under eye area right here. Just a light dusting. Looking good. But I have to say, the powdered side already just looks even better than it did before. It looks much more smooth. And I'm noticing I still have that issue under my eye in the corners here. So I am noticing some bunching, but honestly, I'm not going to put that on the concealer. This is happening with everything that I have been applying in this area, my tried and trues, my favorites, ones that perform so well and I love. So I'm not going to look at this area and attribute what it's looking like to this concealer at all. So, but I am noticing a little bit of creasing on this eye that I have not powdered, but nothing to be too alarmed about. Just it's kind of settling in, but it's nothing crazy. All right, I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll be back in a flash. All right, the makeup is on. I will be doing a wear test today. So right now, it's been on for about a half hour. And I can tell you off the bat that I personally would need a color correction underneath. I need that with most every concealer that I use. So that's not necessarily an issue. Right now, from what I am seeing off the bat, the powdered side looks so much better than the non-powdered side. But let's see, I will check in as many times as possible. I want to give this a good at least 8 hours of wear time, but we'll see what happens throughout the day. I'll see you in my check-ins. All right, we are 4 hours in. This is the non-powdered side, and this is the powdered side. It's kind of cloudy. I got some direct sunlight on me. However, I see really zero difference from when I first applied the concealer. Again, this is my little issue here. We're gonna ignore that. But there's a little bit more creasing on the non-powdered side versus the powdered side. The powdered side looks just a little bit more smooth, just like it did when I first applied it. And so far, so good. I'm This is good. This is really good. I want you to see up close, like I'm really, really close. Yes, you can see my fine lines because they are there. I can't make them disappear. I wish I could. But in terms of the concealer itself, wowza, wowza. Honestly, it's looking so good. Okie dokie, my babeskies. What are we gonna say about this concealer at 8 hours right now? We're looking good, okay? We're looking very, very good. I am looking exactly like I did when I first applied this. It looks smooth and silky and has maintained those skin-like properties throughout the day. I have the teensiest amount of creasing, very, very, very minimal, which is normal for me because I have so many fine lines under my eyes. But my under eyes do not look dry. The hydration has been maintained and it still feels very, very skin-like. It feels so comfortable on the skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing anything at all. Now, in terms of powder, you don't really need to powder this. You would powder this if you just wanted a much more smoother effect. The powdering didn't affect the creasing in any way. What it did was just smooth everything out, make everything look a little bit more silky. But I don't see, other than that, any difference between the powdered and the unpowdered eye. So I would powder this concealer, but you don't need a lot. You need a minimal amount. I also want to mention that a little bit of this product goes a long way. So you don't need a ton of product to get the effect that it gives. And then you're left with a nice thin layer of product under your eye that will give you a medium coverage. And you can build it up definitely. In my case, I would definitely need a color corrector. I always need a color corrector 99% of the time, as I mentioned. So if I had added one, this would have been a great under eye day. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to mention that I did not experience any fading in this inner part of my under eye, which happens to me a lot. It just sat beautifully all throughout the day. I am loving the way that this concealer looks. All right, so success. When I do a concealer review, usually it doesn't work out, right? Rarely does it work out, only because I have a lot of work to be done under my eyes. So when I can say that I love a concealer, it is a great day. Especially because my eyes are maturing by the second. My lines are multiplying by the second. I did give you a really up close look because I have nothing to hide, but you have to take what my under eye anatomy is and look at how that concealer works with that anatomy. If you have a beautiful smooth under eye, wow, this will be your best friend. And if you do have a lot of fine lines and sort of advanced aging under your eyes, it also works. So that speaks volumes toward this product. I also think it's a great pairing with the skin tint as well. It all works so beautifully together, but I have no doubt that this concealer can work with any type of foundation that you use 100%. That is it for this review. I really hope you found that helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. That would be amazing. Hit that like button, hit the bell button so that you're notified every time I do post a video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.